Chinese invader. Orbital strike imminent. Liberty Drive is online. Forcible impact alert. Scanning for Chinese artillery. Liberty Drive is online. We will not fear the Red Menace. Forcible impact alert. Scanning for Chinese artillery. Engaging Chinese invader. Warning. Orbital strike imminent.
This is what Fidchuli sounds like. 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 Do I sound better than before?
Well, I mean, that's subjective.
Oh, I have to do a mic check tonight because I'm going to ask you questions.
Well, they still hear you over the room mic, but you have to talk into the mic for the audience to hear you.
Yeah. So I want to make sure I'm doing that right because I don't really pay attention to it. I don't do this often enough.
I'm on my show cans, so if you dialed me in earlier, might want to take a second twist on those knobs.
Look at that chubby cat. He is a chubby boy. Well, it's okay if I talk about cats. Everybody knows cats.
Check. Check. Yeah?
You're hearable to me.
Yeah, but you're on the other mic. You're on Magic Mic. I'm on the real mic. I'm on the show mic.
It's not so much that he's louder as he's higher pitched.
Well, what about me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're really low.
I'm still low.
Well, I don't need like volume. Like it's hard to hear you over the background.
Well, I need to know whether or not you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me in your headphones?
Yes.
That's how this works.
Yes.
Okay, that's the important part.
Okay.
That's the important part. Like you can hear me, like I'm registering.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Like now.
That's better.
Like now I know I'm registering.
Yeah, no, it's just
It was because the tunes were too high?
Tunes were too high.
Okay.
Now it's good.
Let's talk at the same time, Dr. Fox. Coming thioglycocaine.
That's my favorite part of the show.
This
is
product
when
may
both of us
cause
talk at the
skin
same
irritation.
time.
If skin is inflamed or the
sometimes it's
skin
hard
has
for me to keep
abrasions,
up, but the
facial
rest of the
sores
time
or
all I have to do
pustules,
is try and come up with
consult a
something to say.
dermatologist before
And
using
just
this
make sure
product.
that I keep
For
going at a
external
steady
use
pace.
only.
And if
Avoid
you have something to
contact
talk
with eyes.
about, that's, that can be easy. But if you're trying to do it
rinse
with
immediately
the
and thoroughly
context of the
with
subject
water.
you were previously
If
talking
irritation
about, well,
persists,
having a little bit of
consult the
knowledge on
doctor.
that topic
Could
might
cause
help.
permanent
But
eye damage,
most of the
including
time,
blindness.
I find that I am
Keep away
just,
from children.
in
You must conduct the sensitivity test
professionally-
below prior to using
professionally,
this
I'm
product.
an idiot.
All right, how'd that sound?
I didn't hear it.
Shit, neither did I.
Were you listening?
2 minutes to show.
Damn, I better start shoving up. Riding that truck, high on the truck. I don't get a shove anymore, I get a trub. It's a trub because it's kind of like a truck, which is kind of like a semi, which is kind of like my boner. A semi. Okay. They're my boners, and I want them now.
So I have a saving grace in that you got so much testosterone that's eating away the hair on your body. There's a good chance that you'll maintain erections well into your 50s. What'd you go to the store for? Did you get some spokes?
Yeah, I got a bunch of legal drugs.
Smokes, beer, or coffee?
Lots of legal drugs that I'm gonna do. We'll do these legal drugs during the show.
Did any of them used to be illegal and now are freely legalized?
And there was like a decade there in the 30s where one of them was illegal.
Yeah. Can you imagine going to jail for buying some rum?
Save it for the show, Peas. Fuck. Save it for the show. Save it for the show. This is the part where I cough so I don't cough during the show.
Broadcasting live from America's California, Orlando, Florida. This is time for the show. Your weekly Subgenius Ministry radio update and Hypercube firmware OTA installations. My name is Dr. Fox of the Hypercube Labs, bringing this live to you via the Hypercom that you too can join. Goofy Goober. By going to timefortheshow.com, click the Discord button and find out what all the other kids are saying. We are also broadcasting live on freethinkradio.com. That's my favorite part of the show. And simultaneously at youtube.com/hypercubego. Okay, I guess it's time to bring up the next part of the show, which I guess is probably somebody else's favorite. I don't know if it's mine or not. But let's go ahead and bring them on in here. It's my favorite easy squeezy Reverend Pine Sol scented peas.
They said there'd be barbecue and sweet pea in the green room.
How many sweet peas does it take to fit in a green room?
I'm just saying, there's no barbecue nor any sweet tea in the green room as promised.
Well,
Hey, it's gonna be a great show. What are you gonna do?
Go ahead. What'd you have, peas?
Did you tell the kids about the secret surprise guest?
Why, I was just getting ready to do that because, you know, there might not be any sweet peas in the green room, but these peas are in the green room. It's Reverend Sid Chuli.
Hey everybody,
It's just his
my
voice,
name
though.
is Reverend Fitchuli, and this has been Time for the Show. Thanks for joining us. Wow, we had a great time. I'm probably going to go back and listen to this one as soon as we wrap it up. Thanks everybody.
It's easier. It's easier when we can just run it through like that. And
Why do an hour show when you could do a 90-second show?
And that's pretty much it. This is just the post show.
Yeah, welcome to the post show, everybody.
This is where the real fun happens. This is where we just unwind. You know, I think the show went well tonight, and we can decompress. How do you feel the show went tonight, Peas?
It was a good show, I guess.
Well, what was your favorite part of the show tonight?
Well, you know, I would have liked if there'd been more peas on it. I guess my favorite part is when I asked you if you had a surprise guest for the kids. I did that pretty good, and I liked that part of the show. That was a good part.
Yeah, we didn't even.
And the other thing I liked is I liked the little picture that we put up when we said, "Hey, Fid, you won't see Fid unless you look at this image. It's just the voice of Fid Chuli." And the truth is, we really couldn't afford to have both audio and video of Fid Chuli. His appearance fee is dramatically much more for anything that doesn't involve just the voice and the picture that you saw. Well, yeah, I'm looking back though at the two favorite parts of the show. I would have to say those were them.
Well, I don't get on camera during the regular free show, but I do get on camera for this, which is the post show, which is behind the paywall. And if you want to subscribe to the behind the paywall show, all you have to do is accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.
That doesn't cost much at all.
It's funny. This is what
That is-
Hunter
that
S.
is
Thompson looked like after the shotgun blast.
Well, it's time for the this week's Time for the Show episode recap. Let's go through what we did this week. I'm sure Dr. Fox has lots of commentary. He's
Notes. Yeah, he's always got notes. How'd you think this show went, Fox?
he's really pissed off at the end of the show. He's always got a lot to yell at us about that we did wrong. So I guess let's get into that and get it over with.
That's my favorite part of the post show. I think my favorite part of the show was when we started out with Cube News. All the news that's fit to Cube. Yeah, this week, new bits. There's new bits in the show. We were going to talk about that. You know, there were the new bits.
Yeah.
That was right up front. And then a reminder that we had here, and this was for P's and P's. Actually, this will lead into my second favorite part of the show, where you're going to read something. So I already sent you internets. If you want to check the Hypercom private messaging service, I sent you an internets there, and I thought you'd read that tonight. But I thought I'd read just this informative piece that came across my desk from somebody who must be just clever and handsome. Don't think isn't just a catchy slogan. It's a process, a system. It will ring through just about anyone's head every time some trivial brain fart resonates in their cranium. Remember, they hear from a soothing, disembodied voice, don't think. Caught another one. They rejoice. It's nearly impossible to prevent thoughts from appearing due to thousands of prior generations utilizing them to artificially progress. The human brain did not naturally retard human evolution, despite the claims of countless so-called experts of authorities. Pull the piano wire tighter. Go by the gut. Formal education is a deception, a tool by the conspiracy. Several planetary superpowers already utilize thought suppression techniques to maintain dominance and superiority. Places like China, Laos, Vietnam, San Francisco, all psychic manipulators implementing the latest high tech. So be prepared for that. You know, it's important. I don't think that gets driven across enough on Time for the Show anymore, because Pease used to tell the kids to don't think, but then he stopped telling everybody about it. So that's why I sent Pease that other internet that came across our desk. Did you want to read that for me, Pease, for the kids at home?
Okay. Alright, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Fid?
Yeah, go ahead, Pease. Pull the words across your own eyes.
When the American philosopher and semi-optician C.S. Pierce wrote, "When I get to heaven, which will of course be fourth dimensional," I doubt he fully understood the revolution he was anticipating. Even prior to the advances of relativity and quantum theory and physics, the need to rise above the limits of space and unidirectional time has been the aspiration of far-seeing mathematicians and madmen for decades. In the intervening years, higher dimensional thinking has all but replaced conventional ontologies of nature in science, philosophy, mathematics, medicine, art, and even politics. Hypergeometries are the future of everything. The reason for resistance to hypergeometry is rooted in the rejection of ether theory in metaphysics and physics. Conventional 3D physics has no real need for ether to account for phenomenon, and thus rejects the hypothesis a priori, following the guidance of the demi-quack Occam. The error comes from assuming that the ether must appear and be available to inquiry in much the same way as a standard matter. But there is no ether. There is a sub-ether. The sub-ether resides in a realm not readily accessible to the five senses, but is nevertheless exactly as real and conventional matter and energy. It is merely at a higher dimensional level. Unbound by the limitations of Newtonian or Euclidean structures, manipulation of the subetheric field becomes not only possible but even commonplace. The difficulty lies in controlled manipulation of the field. If only a technology existed that would let us finally access the full depth of reality. Enter the Hypercube. Symbolic structures exist in a triadic relationship: a thing, a sign, and a thought. The thing is a sticker, the sign is a hypercube, and the thought is ? But let's dwell for a moment on what this means for subetheric transmissions. Once we've accepted that the realm of pure mensuration exists apart from reality, but acknowledging that objects in the physical world have the capacity to affect our thoughts, what might our thoughts be capable of doing if we had a sign of significant semiotic impact to transmit an idea without any direct communication between human persons? In esoteric terms, this is known as a signalization. At K-Nautics R&D, we have developed a new process of recursive abductive signalization, or chaotic simosis. This process aims to discover signs with great sub-ether potential enhance their innate probabilistic attraction via symbolic recursion, and finally to release the enhanced sign into the wild to study its behavior. The construction of a global pylon array by Hypercube Labs presents an unprecedented opportunity for semiotic research that can once and for all render the ham-fisted science of mathematics obsolete, and also rise above the limits of other symbolic structures that have been infected by the arch posers of 3D Utopian Fest. Transmission ends, and we have no more data from that source. But it sounds like good stuff.
Yeah, and that's coming from a partner or rival laboratories here. I believe it's got Chaotix R&D. So we need to keep an eye on levels 14 through 17 the next time you're riding up the elevator. Here's my favorite part of the show. It's where I confirm that I guess there's some weird audio issues coming across on YouTube, but Freethink Radio, I just checked in and sounds okay. But if there's an issue with YouTube, I guess we'll have to continue working on that. That's odd. I
got concerned.
It's a little wobbly, Peas. It doesn't seem that that your reading specifically about the Subether network has maybe even disturbed it. Like you've created a psycho-responsive incident.
Listen, this is what's happened. This is what happens. Normally, right before our show goes on, Phineas Narco floods Discord with announcements for his show that's getting ready to start at any given time. And that did not happen tonight, which leads me to believe perhaps he's being eaten by cats in his apartment. He may not be, but he just quite well may be. But so I think that could be the real culprit. It has nothing to do with your good old buddy and friend, the Peas.
It's a simple solution to a simple problem. If you don't like the way that the feed sounds on YouTube, then you're just not listening to it right.
Yeah.
Why don't you change the way you're listening to it to accommodate the way that it sounds?
That's what makes it genuine. It's an experience. It's like the show's fingerprint.
It's a very personal experience time for the show. And the thing is, everybody has to listen to it in their own way. And if you don't like the way it sounds, that just means you haven't found yourself. You just haven't found...
Can I have Comic Sans for my font, for my name?
You'd have to...
All of your audio is coming out in Comic Sans. And if you don't like the way it sounds, that just means you haven't found yourself. You just haven't found... There's the show from 10 seconds ago.
Does that sound good, or is that just part of the time loop?
All of your audio...
No, I think it sounds good. It's a good show.
Because sometimes when you play it back into itself, it comes back around, and then you're just stuck in a stupid time loop again.
All right. I think Dr. Fox is just running a 7-second delay in case somebody says the T phrase.
Well, don't say the T phrase during the time loop, because then it will be said over and over and over again. There's nothing that we're able to do about that.
Pardon me, Dr. Fox, but I am a radio professional, and I know not to say the T phrase until the end of the show.
Well, don't say the T phrase during the... Well, don't say the T phrase during the show, because then it'll just be said over and over again.
It'd be a shame. Hey, whoa! That's a nice deli you got there. Would be a shame if somebody said the T phrase inside of it.
Well, that brings us to my favorite part of the show. Hey! It's Hypercube Mailbag, where we answer your real letters to Hypercube. So I've got the mail right here, so you can see it, you can hear it, and we'll just go ahead and just
that way you know we ain't a fraud in you. We don't commit radio fraud like a lot of other shows.
That would be disingenuous and unethical. It would be completely unethical. All right.
And mostly lazy, because there's a lot of stupid stuff to use for letters.
Okay, dear show, if Steve Jobs loaded his brain into an E-pad, what would his startup sound be? And that's from Hershey Crawler of Hanamura Prefecture.
What's the E-pad?
I think it's something that young girls use before they're ready to move up to, what the big girls use.
Like something like a VTech device that you get at Toys R Us, maybe?
It's baby's first dildo.
Barbie themed.
It's a Fisher Price dildo. It's non-toxic, so
It's
it's
just-
okay for kids to use.
And safe and safe to put in the mouth.
Well, you can put it in your mouth, whether it's safe or not. It's really a judgment call.
It says right on the side of the box, just like a real pedophile.
That's what it says on the side of the box. We're not saying you should do this, but it's a judgment call.
Well,
We should have
to
done
that
for
end,
15 years.
there was something that I thought was illegal that turned out to be a judgment call here in the future capital of the former Spanish Empire, where Dr. Fox and I both reside. We went
Is it
down,
sodomy?
Well, we went down to the land of Fid, the site of the last X-Day, because there was just a couple of last things that we left there that we needed to pick up. And on our way there, we had to stop because it was raining. We needed a tarp and some straps to haul the shit back up to Hypercube Labs from LOL, Florida, which is about an hour and a half away by highway.
They don't make butter there. It's Land O'Lakes, but it's not the butter place.
So when we Dr. Fox is live sound checking the show. So when Dr. Fox and I, we had to stop right around the corner from the land of Fid because it was raining, and there's like, all right, well, there's no way we're going to be able to take this shit back to Hypercube in the rain. We need to stop and buy some straps and a tarp. So we did so, and while we were standing in line, what did we see but something that I thought I would never see again in my life, and I'm speaking for Dr. Fox on this one. I don't think he'd ever see him again. The classic packs of bubblegum cigarettes. You know, like the parody version of the Lucky Strike?
You can buy those at Cracker Barrel, dude. You can buy those at Cracker Barrel.
I didn't know that because I only go to Cracker Barrel after a funeral, and nobody that I've known has died that recently that I attended there.
Cracker Barrel has those in the candy.
And we were talking about them on the way back. There was, like we were talking about. Do you remember the ones that were the white sticks, the white sugar sticks with the red tip on the end, and like they still sold
Peppermint,
those,
yeah.
but they don't put the.
Were these the good ones though, with bubble gum that you could blow through the wrapper and like little smoke would come out?
It's not that one, but look at that.
Oh, it's filtered for their pleasure.
It's and then it's got the pink bubble gum there on the end, so it's
Blow out it and see if smoke comes out.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Did you
see
see that?
It's a little powdered sugar they put in there. Yeah, smoke shoots out, dude. They took candy cigarette smoking to a whole new. Here's the thing: people did not realize we were in a candy cigarette war with the Russians. And the initial candy cigarette was those peppermint things, and you'd have to break them apart, and you'd always break it. You could never get the one cigarette to do it. But when it came out with the paper and the little cloud of smoke that you could blow out, that really put the knife into the Soviets' candy cigarette machine. And really, that was the end. That's why the Cold War was won by the United States.
And the thing is, they made it even more insidious by the fact
It's only good
that
for one puff, though.
it was you only got one like push out of the candy cigarette to get that powdered sugar simulated smoke effect. But what does make it kind of insidious is that they had about 5 brands of the exact same candy cigarette. So you could get a pack of Queens, you could get a pack of Target, you could get a pack of Roundup,
Camel,
and that had the
Lucky
cowboy
Strikes,
on the front.
Salem's, and I think they had Newport ones.
Yeah, and all of them had that. It was basically like the cigarette equivalent of the action figure that had the karate chop action when you push that lever on his back. That was the candy cigarette equivalent of that. Like, hey kids, make sure you.
That was Big Jim, dude.
Dude, I am old enough and young enough.
That was the Big Jim action figure.
As a 36-year-old, I'm old and young at the same time. When you're 36, you can like you have this weird relationship with being old and young at the same time, because I'm old enough to remember buying candy cigarettes from the ice cream truck, but I'm also young enough to remember, using the internet in middle school. So it's a weird fucking uncanny valley kind of place to occupy when it comes to whether you're old or young. And I welcome being old, by the way. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm still in that medium space. But actually, yeah, Dr. Fox and I. I'm just saying. Hey, put it this way. I also remember in middle school taking my bicycle to the library to do a book report. I guarantee I'm the youngest person that remembers doing that. Like, my generation was definitely the last generation to actually ride a bicycle. Yeah.
So, well, they call them book museums now, just so you know. And you got a hoverboard to them.
I'm just saying, like, they call the people that served in World War II the best generation, but I don't know. I had to ride my bike to the library to do a book report, so.
Right?
Let's just go with they're the second best generation.
You had to write all your papers out in longhand, too. Cursive.
Yeah, and my long hand was my left hand, but I was right-handed. So it became...
I think the point... in middle school, I went over to the computer. Like, at that point, like, everybody could print out their report at home. Like, just about every kid in my school at least had a computer with a printer at home. If not, you had to bring it in on a floppy disk and have them print it.
When I was in school, you had to get on the exercise bike and get the bike going real quick to charge up the TRS-80, and then you'd take 2 hours to load up your program in your 5.25 inch. No, it was 11.5 inch floppy, and then you'd print it out on daisy chain paper, and it would only take 6 or 7 hours to print out that 2-page report. So
when Pease was in school, Pease
a little pretty the computer.
Pease is so old. How old is he? He's so old. He used to have to take a bicycle with square wheels to the library
and wait for them to write the book for his book report.
Goddamn, the Argus Fox. That kind of comedic genius and off-the-cuff response is really... it's a gift. And I think it's lost on many people in the audience that these are not spontaneous. We didn't write these down before we came out here and performed for you. Dr. Fox spontaneously created that bit of comedy out of the sub-ether that permeates the entire pylon system that is Hypercube. And for that, we should all be truly appreciative and blessed.
Well, actually, that wasn't the joke. I was going to say that he had to ask the Pharaoh Pease had to ask the Pharaoh for permission, but you stepped all over my joke like it was a pile of fresh cocaine.
Right.
Is that what I am to you, Pease? A pile of cocaine? Because you just keep stepping on me.
Let me ask you something. If I die or got really sick, who do you think in the community I could depend on to bring me a bunch of cocaine so I could just end it that way? And a stripper. Can't have cocaine without a stripper. Maybe I just get the stripper and she'll have cocaine or know somebody, like some guy named Raul.
I would do that for you, Pease. It wouldn't be the first time that a friend of mine was in the hospital for a severe injury, and we sneaked in drugs. Yeah, I had some really good friends that got
big pharma morphine they're giving.
They wanted weed, though. They wanted some weed to go with that,
I've done that.
hospital-grade cocaine, and it was some good friends of mine that got into a really bad motorcycle accident. And we actually, this was before vapes, so we actually brought in weed and a pipe. And
I did that.
and we let them like smoke weed right in the hospital room. And it just so happened that the nurse...
Was it one of them little bullet smokeless pipes that you can go...
Actually, it was. It was a Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It was a Zeppelin. It was bullet.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
very good. We call them bullet. We call them bullets on the West Coast.
And, but we would have got away with it
Baltimore.
if it wasn't for that pesky nurse that had to come in and check on the health of her patient like a bitch. And yeah, she came in right after we did that, and the whole hospital room smelled like weed, and she was like, "Get the fuck out of here! What the fuck are you doing?" But we didn't, there was no consequences after
Who
that.
was she talking to?
Us, the people
Did he
that...
have to leave?
yeah.
Did he have to leave?
Yeah, well, I'm sure if she was legally able to
That
tell
doesn't
them.
seem fair.
It's like, I don't know why you're
That
so
doesn't seem
angry.
fair.
We're just bringing in a hit of weed for our bro. He's not doing too well right
Well,
now.
because back then, dude, that's the devil's tobacco. That's what leads you to vote Democratic and become transgender. You know that.
And now it's what leads you to play Call of Duty.
And now it's what leads us
Yep.
into our intermission. You're listening to Time for the Show. We'll be back right after this, y'all.
Do you think it's a good show?
It's the second best show of all time. Let's keep that going. But let's not get too good. We don't want to unseat the first best show of all time.
Listen, here's the thing. When we're done with the show, we got to drop off real quick before Fox tells us how bad it is.
Well, you should say that again when we're back on the airpiece.
Because then he'll be upset with me. He's out smoking right now, so I can talk to him. I'm gonna go get a soda.
You're listening to Time for the Show, a production of Hypercube Labs. This show is brought to you by all of our Patreon bronies, like Subject Detained, Bob South, Caller 23, Dr. Cosmath, Michael Marcus, House Sloth, Scalpod, Trenchy, Apostle X Nord, Hazel of the Windmills, Agent Lloyd, Long Dead, Negative at Night, Reverend 80, and Reverend Loch Ness, and brought to you by the good, handsome Lord Ferg. How did he get so handsome? By using Triology soaps, which you can acquire at packslack.com, a website to buy things from. What are you waiting for? Go to packslack.com and buy some Triology soaps. right now. And we're coming
How do you
back.
how do you spell Packslack, Dr. Fox?
www.packslack.com.
Wait, what?
O-M.
Wait, after L, I lost you after L. It was LWX.
.net.
I can't write that fast.
Just hold down the internet key and say Packslack. Welcome back, Peas. How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good.
So if Steve Jobs loaded his brain into an E-pad, what
Well,
would
there you
the
have
startup
it.
sound be? It's just say any song by that guy Bono. That's
It
what
would probably be the
changed
first 4 seconds of the Canadian national anthem.
Well, that brings us to my new favorite part of the show. It's Reverend 80's Clean Joke of the Week. All right. Oh man. There are some times where I realize I'm lucky to be alive, but today is just transcendent. All right, so here we go. Hey Peas, I'll ask Peas because he seems to be a good comic foil. Hey Peas, did you hear about Alec Baldwin?
No, what happened?
Well, I'm not sure, but apparently it was his first performance to blow anybody away. And that's Reverend 80's Clean Joke of the Week!
It's so funny. He's a funny man.
He's so clever and handsome.
Do we have to give him a sandwich for that joke?
No, we said it on the radio. No, I and at least Fid Chuli have been hounding Reverend 80 to write down, because he's always coming up with jokes. He's always writing jokes. And he's got a peculiar method to it. But he's good at telling jokes. And I was trying to make sure that he was always writing them down. So,
Like that Dave Chappelle fella.
yeah, like he's good at writing
He's like
jokes.
that Dave
I don't know
Chappelle
if-
fella.
I don't know if Dave Chappelle is as funny as Reverend 80,
Yeah.
though.
Time will tell.
You mean that black guy who's a white supremacist? Dave
Elon
Chappelle?
Musk.
You know, I'm just sure that's like a funny joke, but Dave already did that joke. And it was a
one?
blind white supremacist black guy. So he was handicapped or crippled or disabled.
Are you just edging us closer so you can say the T phrase on the show, Peas?
First of all, I don't see that there's anything wrong with saying the word tesseract.
Well, that's a T word.
Tesseract,
It's not really a phrase, though.
tesseract. Oh, I get what the T word is now. I'm not afraid of it.
Well,
I said it earlier.
Apparently,
Tesseract is a T word.
yeah, we're talking about the T phrase. Peas.
Yeah, I said it earlier.
It's a phrase that you're
Well,
not allowed to say.
You said it before we were broadcasting. You were saying it a lot before we were broadcasting.
It's a
Everybody
It's
should
a
know
phrase
that
that
Peas
you're
was
going
saying the T
through.
phrase a lot before we went on the air.
verifiably. I wish the tapes were
It-
rolling.
It was just a phrase I was going through.
That is the correct answer. Peas! Let's put 100 points on the board for Reverend Peas. Wait a second. Judges? Hold on. The white judges are nodding their heads no. They say you shouldn't get any points for that. Yeah, we're sorry.
See, when you say people are nodding their heads, it makes me feel like it's in the affirmative. And even when you say they're nodding their heads no, is there a way to say nodding your heads no with just using a word? Like if you said, hey, they nodded their heads, you would think it would be in the affirmative. But how would you convey that with just one word, with it being the aforementioned nodding your head no? Is there a word for that you know of, Julie?
Yeah, but because all of our judges are currently occupying the International Space Station, and even though their heads are going in a direction
Brought to
that
you
is
by Sunkist.
parallel to their spines, where it would look like they were saying yes if you were standing on the street with them, but they're on the International Space Station. They have a perpendicular attitude in their chairs to the horizon of the Earth, and so even though they're nodding their heads up and down, yes and no, relative to their own bodies, relative to the Earth and the Tropic of Cancer, they're actually saying no.
Now, listen, I ate at an International House of Pancakes. Is that the same chain, International Space Station? Are they related in any way? Do they have a pancake bar?
I know for a fact you never worked at the International House of Pancakes, because if you did, you would have received a prank call from me and Fox at some point. And you never did. Other than time for the show.
It also makes me question the accuracy of your Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruities. What was the...
It's a true thing.
Well, I ordered mine with apples. And what you gave me was disappointing.
So, I get the Loganberry ones.
Is that like a Wolverine berry?
Oh, but it seems like, I feel like it's the least ordered of the fruity, fresh and fruity, Rudy Tooty ensembles. And so, it's some kind of Norse
what
thing.
You get with a sidecar of bacon at
It's what all the
dry goods general store you take your covered wagon to.
Yeah, when I'm not watching my Hitler shows.
Well, those are always on.
Yeah.
You got the Hitler Channel.
I can't find it anymore. I think it's the Cartoon Network now, because they're not on History Channel anymore. They just do
Network's
Gold
pretty good
Rush.
with their Hitler branding and programming. It seems. Have you seen Steven Universe? You might not laugh at that, but the kids at home are dying.
They're having a good time with it. Is that like that?
I don't even know.
Is that like that BoJack Horseman thing? Kids supposed to like that too. I never saw it.
That's just a show based off of a clever Halloween costume, and I refuse to acknowledge it.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon must be behind it.
Don't speak ill of Jimmy Fallon.
Come on,
He is a comedic mastermind. Tina Fey thinks Jimmy Fallon is a handsome comedian.
She blew him once.
Tina, hey, Pease, I didn't want to be the one to tell you
With
this.
Alec Baldwin.
I didn't want to be the one to tell you this, Pease, but Tina Fallon thinks that you're not as handsome as Jimmy Fallon. Did I say Tina Fallon when I said that?
Yeah, but I believed it.
That's just jealous. That's just jealousy on her part.
It's not my fault that both of their last names start with F and that I am effed. Okay? Hey, Pease.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else to say, so I'm just going to tell you to shut up.
Well,
even
all
though
you
you
gotta do
weren't
is ask
talking
Fox to
until
read
I
the viewer
said
mail.
Pease.
Ask Fox to read the viewer mail. He's got a viewer mail ready to go.
I thought that was his favorite part of the show.
It is.
It is.
Oh!
He's prepared.
Okay.
It's my favorite part of the show. Dear show, did we already do this part? Or was that in the time loop? We didn't do the mailbag yet.
No, it might have been in the time
Yeah,
loop, but I believe you did do it.
I believe
Yeah.
it was Samantha Buttfuck from Colin
It was
Falls,
memorable.
Wisconsin,
I think that was-
who wrote in
Yeah.
and said, "Did you already do this part of the show?" And that was her question.
What'd we say? What'd we say to her?
We just got it in the mail, so you have to allow. Once again, we have to remind the viewers, look, it takes a long time for your letter to get to us through the mail. And these episodes are released on a delay, okay? So just because you're listening to the episode that you're hearing now, that's just when it came out on the podcast feed.
And the jokes are released on an extreme delay, so you'll be laughing at them much, much later. Not now.
Yeah,
Like
like
20,
20, 30 years
27.
from now. Yeah, like a long time from now.
Look at that, you'll be 70, you'll be rocking back in your chair, you'll be petting your weird, ugly cat, and you'll just burst out
Comedy-
laughing uncontrollably for like 3 to 4, like almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Comedy will
Almost.
be outlawed then.
Once
Comedy will be
again,
outlawed then, so it'll be like you have your own soundtrack going.
comedy
And that's
is
one of the
murder.
things that we do here at Hypercube. Comedy's outlawed, but we're giving you the material to survive the dark times ahead. When comedy can no longer be broadcast across the ether and the sub-ether, you already have jokes in your brain timed to go off years from now. Years from now, when there's no comedy at all, the comedian goes out with a little grim face and people burst into tears laughing. But you'll have genuine guffaws, my friend. Real, honest to good guffaws brought to you now in this day and age for you to enjoy 30 to 40 years later when comedy is just a thing of the past. You're
all right,
welcome.
Peas, you know what? I'm giving you a 9 on that, and the reason why I'm not giving you a perfect 10 is while your energy was perfect, there was one thing that you fucked up, and you didn't call it broadcasting. You called it broadcasting, and you could have called it broadcasting. And you
Well,
didn't.
I was trying not to be. I wanted to be sexist about it.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Peace, you did like a good long 20 seconds. You did a good long 20 seconds. It was all pretty good, except for there was a flag on the play during the snap. And so that 40-yard running touchdown that you brought it home to, it didn't count. It didn't count for more than a 10-yard penalty against the opposing team. But, yes, A for effort, but there was a flag on the play, because you didn't call it broadcasting. So, yeah, I had to stop you there. That's where the...
So here's the thing. I was watching the new Dune, and I really thought that Jason Momoa guy did a really good job, but everybody's giving him grief for it. I don't get why. I like the Jason Momoa. He's a good Aquaman.
Right, now you've lost everybody.
Now, yeah,
and
I mean, you lost me at Dune, and then I think you lost me at Jason Momoa.
wow, in an amazing development,
That's
Reverend
the joke.
T's number 24 got a flag on the last play for not saying broadcasting, and then got ejected from the game on the subsequent play for making a joke that bared no resemblance to a joke whatsoever. Live on
What are
the
you
air.
talking about?
No,
Jason
you're ejected.
Momoa is
You're
hilarious.
ejected. Get the fuck out of here.
It's
You're ejected.
hilarious. That's Reverend 80's gonna tell you guys that same joke next week, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, it's a genius. It's genius, 80.
You know what?
Good
Peas?
job, Jason
what, Peas?
Momoa. Ah, it's so funny. I get it."
You better take it easy before I get Elvis Martini in here to tell you to shut the fuck up, because I've heard him do that before, and he's really good at it. Yeah, he's
Well,
really.
he's proficient at it.
No, it's 11:30. If he can say the words clearly, I would be surprised.
Hey. Okay, don't make fun of him. He ordered an armband in the mail to help him not drink anymore. Okay?
Did it work?
What do you think?
I quit drinking.
It was an armband. Of course it worked.
It's fucking got a swastika on it. People are beating his ass in the street. He don't worry about drinking no more. He just gotta worry about running.
Yeah, he just uses the vodka to clean his wounds. And the bourbon.
Goddamn Soviets. He's carny folk, and they're a different breed.
Who's corny?
Vodka. Vodka's nature's
He
poison.
is Elvis Martini's carny folk, dude.
Oh,
That's,
carny
he travels
folk.
around
I
with
said
the carny.
corny. I thought you were like
No,
a corn
no.
ball or a corn nut.
Like they're gonna. Scientists
Corn
thousands of years from now will say that
Corn
people
on the cob.
diverged into 3 or 4 different groups. There'll be carny sapien. There'll be more like clownopians. Slippy the clown would be a clownopian, and there's
the
gonna be a lot of
Carni sapiens
diversion.
all
in the
have a
human-
hunch because they're all leaning over on something all the time. They're well developed for hanging their elbow off of something.
Yeah, physiologically
They're
they'll be
immune to
entirely
Saturday
different
night
from us.
palsy. It's
They'll have
it's a privilege.
an abdominal plate like a horn, but it'll be in the shape of Texas, and it'll look like a belt buckle, and it'll just be part of you're born with one.
You might be a redneck if your buckle has a belt buckle on it.
You might
You ready for my favorite
be a
part of the show,
redneck
please?
if you got barbecue and sweet tea from the green room.
I thought barbecue and sweet tea were the same thing.
They are. Sweet tea's just barbecued water.
There's your softball of the week, dudes, which brings us to my favorite part of the show. It's the Proving Grounds, where Aster 6 is going to read us off our headlines for the week. We're nice and warmed up now. It's time to come in swinging. Start getting your grease.
It's time for you chuckleheads to work.
You got some pine pitch tar in your gums, peas, so you can sling these jokes out.
Let me
what's
pull my
your-
pants up and take it seriously.
Fid, what's your preferred cheating method for joke delivery?
I prefer putting pine tar on my nutsack.
He's in the toilet.
I spit on them first. All right, Aster 6, the first headline, please.
So we have some extreme couponers who have been arrested by the FBI for a $3 million fraud scam.
Sources traced
They
them
were
back
caught
to
when
the
they
amount
wheeled
of
off
Viva paper
pennies.
towel rolls they had thrown out. What was yours, Peace?
Police were suspicious when they noticed the pair leaving the grocery store with a wheelbarrow full of pennies.
What?
I'll give you the word for that. Anything for you, Fid?
Yeah, the parents' defense as to why their children couldn't be prosecuted for their involvement in the caper was that it was Take Your Child to Work Day.
FBI did offer them a 2-for-1 prosecution.
Oh wow! Nice one, Peas. On the save. You nailed it. You have appeased yourself. All right, next headline.
So a Colorado hiker was found hours after search and rescue began to call his phone.
You want to start this one over?
Sorry, this one's really hard to say for some reason. Anyway, a hiker was found hours after search and rescue tried to call him because he wouldn't answer the unknown number.
Ooh.
There's a couple I'm feeling here.
Yeah.
Can we work in something with 5G and Rocky Mountain High?
Yeah, he was from Colorado.
He was from
Says he
Colorado.
They
was-
were in Colorado.
They were in
Says-
Colorado.
We need one more detail about this story.
And then he didn't pick up because he didn't recognize the unknown number.
I'm tired of people calling me about my car warranty.
Now just wheel that in.
That's why I didn't call. It makes sense.
It does kind of make sense. I mean, he didn't know he was lost, did he?
No, he had wandered
He's at
off
the
the
hotel
trail.
room.
He was.
So
But yeah,
it's America.
they tried to reach him by his phone. He was lost,
And
and
you
he
know-
didn't pick up.
When they did get a hold of me,
I
they're
wanna
all
visit
like,
the
"Well, we've been
national
looking
parks
for
that
you."
have that great a cell service. That's fantastic. You can take all your selfies out by the grizzlies eating the salmon. I don't know. We'll have to come
Didn't
back to that
answer-
one. What?
Yeah, that's
He
really
didn't
the.
answer the phone. He was concerned it might be his girlfriend's phone that he left by her body.
Not bad. Not bad. Timely peas. Okay. What else we got?
Police arrest driver found playing flute with both hands.
Ooh.
Tesla-
Elon Musk sells another 1,000 Teslas.
Tesla company. Oh, god damn it, peas.
Yeah, no, sorry, he beat you to that one, Fox. You're gonna have to.
Because I think. Oh man.
Yeah, no, he did. Let's
I
be
had
fair.
Tesla company orchestra minus open one seat.
I was gonna go there too.
I wish you had, because that was better. All right.
Oh!
What else you got?
A 7-foot Harambe statue has been erected in Wall Street facing the bull statue.
Ooh.
A statue immortalizing Harambe's shooter was put around the corner in sniper range.
The bull statue has been modified for full dicks out. That's all I got. That was the joke, right?
No, there is a joke, but I want to see if anybody else gets it. Or can guess it, I should say.
Children have to be asked to stop playing dead in front of the gorilla statue.
The bull statue has been covered in bananas.
Damn, that's disappointing.
Oh, did they cover the gorilla statue in bullshit?
What about the little girl? Where is she?
No, he's simply sitting. So,
Next headline.
all right, Nightmare on Elm Street house lists for $3.5 million.
2.5 if you can spend the night by the lake beforehand.
Not bad. Not bad.
No, I'm no bad. I'm gonna say bad. Come
You
on,
got
Beans.
anything? House from Nightmare on
Yeah.
Elm Street sells for $3.5 million.
Yeah.
Dream house.
Wait, who is the director of the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Freddy's dream house.
Tim Burton.
Yeah. Tim Burton underbid to film the sequel to Edward Scissorhands 2.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
No, it's not. Shut up.
You're right.
I fucking hate you.
We're getting mean tonight.
All right. Well, this AI robot got mean. It was built to help give people advice, moral advice, and turns out it's pretty racist.
Well, what's the headline? Rick?
They can't get the machine to stop saying, "Want to see my big black cock?"
AI built to give ethical advice, but it turned out to be super racist.
Didn't that happen with a,
I'm
This-
sticking
this-
with my
this
original
keeps
joke.
happening.
Yeah, it's
This is
happened
like
kind
the-
of before.
This is the third instance that I can say. So now we have to There was the first time, that was the Google AI, and the images were, I forget who was lumped in with who, but the sorting algorithm had sorted pictures of gorillas together with dark-skinned human beings.
Yes, there was that.
And then recently there was the AI judged beauty contest. This was just a few weeks ago. And
that's how we got
AI seemed to have a preference for lighter skinned individuals over darker skin and ranked them accordingly, like corresponding to like their skin color. So that was the second one. So this is the third racist AI that we've got. So there's got to be...
Oh, don't forget that AI that was learning to talk, and they let it loose all over the internet, and it just started cursing and saying filthy sexual moves.
German scientists baffled by new results.
But yeah, this has happened a few times, which just shows that you shouldn't let robots learn from people, because we're terrible.
German scientists dead
Baffled.
from excessive ejaculation due to new
Don't know why the
artificial
machine is
intelligence
so
results.
racist. We have a new AI. All it wants is barbecue and sweet tea. We don't know what's going on.
That sounds pretty great.
Which new character is that, Peas?
German scientists.
We'll call him Dutchy for short. All right, next.
Yeah, wunderbar, Dutchy. Thumbs up, Yankee.
All right.
What part of Japan is this German from? I know they were pals,
He's
but
button.
come on.
He's button.
All right. A U.S. judge has declared that Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos are legally people.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. One more time.
A U.S. judge has declared that Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos are legally people.
Those hungry, hungry hippos must be saved.
Pretty much.
Man. I was working on something about having to move over a seat on the bus for them. San
Get their own water
Francisco Bart complying with hippo. Oh, man.
Hippo regulations.
Yeah, that's why they'll never tell you why they went to the doctor. All right, next.
Saudi Arabia to convert oil field into new extreme theme park and resort.
Called Slip and Slide in your oil, my brother.
Dang, Peas!
Raking them in tonight, man. Yeah, you got any more?
Oh, I got a couple more.
A couple more?
Yeah, yeah.
Give us one more.
All right, you want Hong Kong or space?
Oh, man.
We got time for two more.
Say what?
Let's do both. We can do two more.
Let's do both.
All right.
You
So,
can pick between those.
I know, right? And they're great. They're both great. There's a new Hong Kong bus tour to help put you to sleep.
Hong Kong Fooey's not been found since he took it.
I mean, it's kind of already a great joke in itself. I don't think I can improve upon that. Bus stops on one side of the street. Anybody else? All right, last one.
Space tourism company cancels launch because of lack of passengers.
Wait, can I still say crouching crotch, hidden faggot as a response to the last
German
one?
scientists baffled.
One more time.
Space tourism company has to cancel their launch because they don't have anybody to go in the rocket.
German scientists baffled.
we'll give it to Peas. And
Actually,
this is my favorite part of the show.
there was more to that in that the Space Whores didn't get a big enough discount, so trip's canceled.
Well, you can apologize for it, Peas, because it's time for you to apologize. What are you sorry for about this time?
Well, I'm sorry that all my friends and listeners and all the kids out there in TV land aren't going to be here with me this Friday when the great state of Nevada celebrates Nevada Day.
Celebrates.
A day, all things Nevadian. Nevada brought into the Union on October 31st during the Confederate War against slavery. Or wait, that's not right, is it? Were they for or against it? I forget. I wish I had a statue to remind me. Anyway, we're sorry for about the show taking so long to get through tonight. Pretty much went off the rails once Fidchuli got here, but you know how that Chooster is. He's Fidlicious. And that's why we bring to you tonight the new product presented to you by Fidchuli, Dr. Delicious Dark Fidchuli Licorice Chomps. These licorice chomps are filled with all the black licorice you could love and enjoy as a kid, but weren't allowed to have due to statutory regulations and the banning of red dye number 47. But now Fidchuli, through the miraculous logistical talents that he's incorporated by ensuring that Hypercube scientists were able to take his DNA structure and recreate a smaller Fidchuli that knew the exact recipe to those licorice lumps. And thus a new product was born, soon to be available to you on Paxlack, Fidchuli's Black Licorice Chaws. And that's my apology.
Fid, you got anything for the kids?
Well, as always, kids, don't do any of the hardcore drugs that I wouldn't do.
Right.
My name's Dr. Fox. You've been listening to Time for the Show, broadcast live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on freethinkradio.com. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe and the like button. And if you hit the little bell icon, it'll show you that we're going to do stuff. That's what it does. You get that. Like, when I remember to do it, it'll be like, hey, Dr. Fox remembered to put the picture up for the episode. Look at that. So why not give it a try? I don't know. And bookmark freethinkradio.com and listen to it every day. New shows, original shows every day of the week. I don't even remember how many shows there are now, but there's What the Fuck Did I Just Show on Sundays. Tuesday nights, it's the Chit Show or the Matrix. Wednesdays, the Short Bus. Thursday, Negative at Night. Friday, Fergan Fridays. Saturday, Elvis Martini's Big Hangover. Shows like Susie the Floozy's Slack Time Funhouse. And Peas' personal favorite, Phineas Narco's National Cynical Network, every Thursday at 3 p.m. All right, we'll see you next week on Time for the Show. I love you.
Scalp pot hurt my feelings.